only 10% of us get enough daily exercise.
And that number is dropping.
Nearly 30% of us are overweight or obese. We spend 6 hours a day in front of a screen.
As a result, we now have a shorter life expectancy than our parents.
But give us the right start in sports, and we'll never stop.
Learn how at active4life.ca.
Listen up, Cleveland. Listen up, Cleveland.
Welcome to Listen Up Cleveland. I'm your host, Leah Haslage, and I'm really excited. My musical guest today is the one and only John Adams from the Cleveland Indians. Oh. Welcome to Listen Up Cleveland.
Well, thank you for having me here.
But the thing about John, he's not only the infamous drummer from the Indians, he's also the president of the Cleveland Blues Society, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But let's start off because this is a milestone year for you with the Indians. 40 years this year, correct?
Yes, August 24th. This year will be 40 years.
So, for a little background, tell us about that very first game in 1973.
That was interesting. I didn't even know it was going to start. And I'll tell you what it is. I played drums for real. And in high school, I used to be down with the cheerleaders. I was no dummy on the field. I was with the cheerleaders with a megaphone in one hand, banging on the drum and cheering for the team. And I've always gone to a lot of baseball games. You know, baseball's, that sport is my first love. Going down there, my first game, I still remember that experience, the bus ride to walk through downtown, you know, seeing the lake, the stadium, all that. And every opening day, I still get that feeling. So there I was, sitting in the bleachers, talking to Mr. Jackson, who was the police officer there. I said, you know, baseball doesn't really have anything anymore going, and I would like to just bring my drum down. But I'm not bringing my drums down because they're too expensive. They're good drums.
Right.
So I bought a whole drum set for $25. And this is the bass drum.
This is the bass.
A 26-inch bass drum. This is it, same drum. In fact, this head that you're looking at right now is the head that I started with in 1973, because I don't hit this side. That's on the bottom.
Is it true that you bought it at a garage sale for $25?
Yeah, the Trading Times, that magazine. And in fact, it was out of Broadview Heights off of Wallings Road is where I went to get it. And it looked like the parents were going, well, I'm getting rid of my kids' trash, you know, because they didn't take it with them, you know, when they left the house. So I bought the whole set. The rest of it was junk. Quality-wise, this is a junky drum, but it's very valuable to me.
Right.
So I called the Indians up, and I said, I'd like to do this. And they said, as long as you don't bother anybody. I said, okay. I always used to sit at the bottom of the bleachers. There it was in section 55. So I come into the game, I put the drum down, and you know, they had the bench seats.
Right.
So I had the drum right in front of me and the bench down below, and I'm sitting there. Mr. Jackson's over there, we're talking, and you know, I'm going to hit the drum when it's appropriate. In comes 16 of them, and I know that for a fact, because you know, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. It was East Tech. They had their shirts on. It was like they were all date night. And so they decide to sit right in front of me.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and the guy turns around and goes, you're not going to hit that, are you? And I'm thinking, well, there it goes.
Well,
That's
yeah,
it.
I am.
I'm not even going to get started with this thing. A guy's making a beer run. And he says, are you going to hit that drum? And I said, well, I can't bother anybody. He says, you're not going to bother anybody at the top of the bleachers. Come on with me.
Wow.
So I follow him up to the top, right there, section 55. That was my spot.
Yeah.
And started hitting the drum, and you know, and I thought, well, that was nice. You know, next day I went to work. Sunday, I came, a guy I worked with, I said, hey, I got the snare drum, you want to come with me and we'll have some fun today. The Cleveland Press that we had, newspaper here at the time, and Bob Sudek wrote for him. Well, they took a picture of me in the bleachers with this drum, and there we are sitting there. He calls me up at work. He finds out Dino Lucarelli worked for the Indians at the time and knew me. Bob Sudek calls up. They write the story. It was an afternoon paper. This was on Monday. Tuesday afternoon it comes out. And he asked me a question. He said, are you going to be there Tuesday at the game? And I said, well, I don't think so.
I was going to say, I heard that you weren't supposed to go that
No,
next
I
game.
wasn't going to. It was a real slight chance. So the paper comes out. Well, if you want to hear John beat the drum, come to the game tonight. And not to make a liar out of the Fifth Estate, far be it from me to do something like that, I showed up for the game. And then I went to the next game and the next game. And Jackie York worked at the front office. In fact, I think she was, Ted Bondo owned the team. And she was, I think, the second female executive in all of major sports.
Wow.
So, she was kind of a trailblazer there.
Right.
So, we had Larry Doby, right, which was the second, and then, so why not have Jackie York? And she said, would you like to come to every game? We really like what you're doing. And I said, no, because I did not need another obligation in my life. So from that time on, I've just about made every game. I've missed 38 games in 40 years.
40 years.
Yeah.
And so coming up in August will be the 40th anniversary.
Yes, August 24th.
And how are we celebrating it?
I don't know yet. I have no idea.
So stay tuned to the
We'll do
Indians website
something.
for that to celebrate.
Yes, I'm sure you'll investigate.
I will
and
investigate.
find out for all your viewers.
I definitely will. It'll be on all of our social media. All right, well, when we come back from the break, we're going to have more with John about his other endeavor, the Cleveland Blues Society, and how you can get involved with that. So stick around right here on TV 20 for more of Listen Up Cleveland. I'm going to bang on.
Listen up, Cleveland. Listen up, Cleveland.
Welcome back to Listen Up Cleveland. I'm here with John Adams from the Cleveland Indians, but he's not just the drummer from the Indians. He also started the Cleveland Blues Society. Tell us about the Blues Society.
Oh, it's a great organization. It's just people getting together to support live music in Cleveland.
It is a nonprofit.
Yes, it is a nonprofit. We're 501c3, so you can make all the donations you want to us. We would appreciate it, I'll tell you. But we have the second Monday of every month, we have our meeting jam. The meeting, you have to listen to me talk maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, it's mandatory. And then after that, it's all music. And people come, bring their instruments, and it is a big jam. We'll have a host band there, and it changes locations all the time. So you have to come to our website and see where we're at each month.
But it's open to anyone. Anyone in the public can come and enjoy this.
Anybody can come. In fact, some of the meetup groups have discovered us, and
great.
we are packing the place. So it's, like I said, the second Monday of every month. And we change it around. And people just we'll have a host band, they bring their instruments, they'll play. A lot of people come just to hear the good music.
Now, aside from the jam nights, you do have other projects that you've done in the past and are currently working on for this coming summer.
Oh, yes. Every year, we also have our competition for Memphis, the International Challenge that goes on, and people from all over the world come and play the blues. And we'll have a band goes into competition here in Cleveland, all the different bands. Whoever wins, we sponsor them and they go to Memphis.
Oh,
and
that's
we
great.
also have a solo duo So if you're just by yourself and you want to play acoustic guitar and just do some old-fashioned blues, you can do that, and we sponsor your trip down to Memphis too.
Now, what's the other thing coming up this summer?
Oh, this summer we're going to
Excited for
have,
this, clearly.
yes, we're going to have a blues cruise.
It's the first ever.
Yes.
The first ever here in
yes.
Cleveland and in.
You know, they have them where people have to travel 1,500 miles to go get on a ship and go for a blues cruise. Well, we decided that we're going to have a blues cruise Cleveland style.
Nice.
So we got the Good Time 3, and on July 15th at 7 o'clock, people will start boarding. We have a 2.5-hour cruise, be back by 10, and we have the boat until 11:30, so the music will just keep going into the night for as long as people want to go.
That's so fun.
Yes.
What a great idea.
Yeah, and we're going to raise money for our educational fund because we want to take the music, and it isn't just lessons, but it's also the music itself, to take it out, to get people aware of the music and the local talent that we have in Cleveland.
We have so much.
Oh, this city is loaded with local talent. I mean, the blues is one genre. I mean, you name the type of music, and we have top-notch people. And in Cleveland, the blues is no exception. For our cruise, we're bringing in, let me think, I hope I get all the names now here. We're getting Alan Green, we're getting Butch Armstrong, Colin DeSalt is coming, Michael Bay is coming, Michael Barrick is coming, Mike Delia. Boy, yeah, I guess you have to have the name Mike to play in this band. It seems that
blues
way.
name.
Crazy Marvin's going to come. We have Becky Boyd. We have Christine Jackson. We have
Such a
Walking
great
Kane.
lineup.
They're all going to be there.
Top-notch Cleveland artists
Yeah.
all in one spot on this cruise. It's
Yes.
what, 3 hours? 3 hours?
Well,
cruise, 2 hours?
2.5-hour cruise, but we'll have 3.5 hours of music. So it's going to work out really nice. And $25. And,
Oh, not bad at all.
No.
For all those acts?
No. So you get a boat ride and you get a lot of great music for $25. And we'll have it up on the website, to buy tickets. And that's clevelandblues.org.
And they can directly email you through that website as well.
Yes.
Now,
they
you
can.
mentioned education. You also teach, and not a lot of people know that as well.
Oh, that's another thing I do. My life fits together like a well. I have from Cleveland State University. I have a degree in English. So I work for the phone company AT&T, and I design computer systems. See, that's what you do with English degrees. And then,
Right.
and then at Cleveland State, I teach a class. I teach people on how to teach the disabled. So these are everybody certifications in teaching, and I teach them how to do it. We do motor development, behavior modification.
You truly are a jack of all trades, John.
Well, I like doing positive, creative, constructive things.
Because you're teaching, that's just volunteer, isn't it?
Yes. I found you can get all the jobs you want in the world if you don't want to get paid. People will bring you along and say, sure, come on, do it. I enjoy it. Cleveland is my home. It really is my home. I love it here. It's the people. We're real people. I explained this one time, in fact, on national television once, and I said the best description of Cleveland is it's a big city with small town values.
Yeah.
This is a family city. And this is a city that gives you the opportunity to do things in music. So the arts, it's fantastic in here. I'm not saying the other cities don't have great programs, but here the working man can participate in world-class events. And that's what makes Cleveland so special. Yeah. That's why Cleveland is a great place to live. And I wouldn't want to live anyplace else.
And create world-class events like yourself with creating the
you.
Blues Cruise and the Blues Society. And I can tell you're
Yes.
touched. Like, you're really welled up right now about the love of Cleveland.
Yes, yeah. Cleveland is very special to me. I just can't imagine living anyplace else. I feel very fortunate that I grew up in this city and all the things this city had to offer me and all the people in my life, that shared their time to help me. What better thing to do than take your time, make great memories, help other people out. That's what Cleveland is all about.
It's true. It's so true. Oh, John. See, you got me going too. All right, well, last thing before we head out. Last year, there was a beer in your honor, even though you're not really a drinker, but there was a beer in your honor from Great Lakes, which you did partake in.
Yes, Great Lakes Brewery, and I promised the brewer that I would taste it, and I did. And it was so much better than beer. You know, it's an
great.
ale. It's
a great ale.
Rally Drum Red Ale. They took pictures of my drum all this time, putting it this way, and different lights on this, and doing this, you know, for the label. And there was no living with this drum. It was so spoiled, rotten, you know, but that's okay. I still use it. They sell it in some stores like Heinen's, and the Heinen's in Brecksville told me, boy, they sell out right away whenever it comes out. And I thought, wow, that's good. At least it tastes good. I had people that are brewmeisters that come up to me at games and say, boy, your beer is really good. I said, well, thank you. You know, so at least they have something very good. But Great Lakes is a great place too. These guys did a lot to spur on and put the seed in to develop all that stuff around the West Side Market area. So it's great, and what a great place to be in the city, right there around West 25th, West Side Market. They have so many great things going. It's nice to see life in the city like that, where people going around, interacting, talking, you know. It's fantastic.
But you are a gem, just like our market and our brewery and everything else, John. So
well, thank you.
Congratulations on 40 years.
Thank you.
And so thank you for being here and Listen Up with Cleveland. When we come back, I am going to be with a t-shirt design artist that has a new way that you can purchase t-shirts, and you do not want to miss this. But until then, let's drum our way out.
All right, let's do it.
Smoke 40 years.
Listen up, Cleveland. Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Listen up, Cleveland.
Welcome back to Listen Up Cleveland. I'm your host, Leah Haslage, and I'm here at the offices of Fresh Brewed Tees with the owner, Tony Madalone. Hello, Tony.
How are you?
Great. So you have just blown up in Cleveland. Tell us a little bit about Fresh Brewed Tees and what made you decide to get started with it.
Yeah, we incorporated in 2009, so we've been working about 3.5 years full time, and I'm licensed by the NFLPA. We do a lot of stuff with the local athletes and a lot of Cleveland-centric stuff, and we just launched a truck, so it's pretty exciting, and 3 short years has been good.
Did you see that there was a lack of any kind of Cleveland gear out there, and that's what made you decide to even jumpstart this?
Yeah, it was kind of a lack of, and also in addition to, there's 3 or 4 companies that do this in Cleveland, and we all kind of started within a year or two, so we all kind of fill a niche. And ours has been kind of partnering with the players and stuff like that. So that's kind of where we fit in.
Yeah, I was going to say, we see Josh Cribbs and all the players rocking your gear around town. Are you friends with them and that's how it kind of got started? Or did you reach out to them and say, hey, I'd love to put your face on this t-shirt? Yeah,
that's kind of how it started. You know, we met with Joe Hayden. That was our first actual partnership. And then he's friends with TJ Ward. So we worked with TJ, and then it just kind of snowballed. We worked with Josh, and we work with guys all over the league because I'm licensed by the NFLPA. We're one of the few in the world that are licensed. So it gives us credibility that we work with these guys, and also gives us the ability because we have the NFLPA behind us.
That's very cool. Now, did you start off selling online or on the street? How did you get that all even started?
All online. So this is a cool story. The first shirt we did was actually a Pay Crib shirt. In 2010, there was a little dispute after the season ending with Josh and the Browns. And we decided our first t-shirt would be a Pay Crib shirt, and I sent a tweet to Jay Crawford on Twitter on Sunday. He interviewed Josh on Monday, and he showed the t-shirt for 10 seconds on ESPN. So that kind of launched the company. We sold 100 t-shirts before we even printed the first shirt. LeBron was still here, so we capitalized on a lot of that stuff, and just kind of snowballed from there.
That's very cool how that one moment can just change your whole career.
Yep.
So we'll get to the food truck, or the t-shirt truck in a second, but what's the other next endeavor for you with Fresh Brewed Tees? Is there a storefront coming?
I can't say that there's a storefront coming for sure. I'd love to have a piece downtown, but it's national. We're trying to get in new markets, and obviously with the NFLPA, we can work with different players. So I want to be in Cleveland. We'll always give back to Cleveland and support Cleveland, but I want to be national.
Oh, so you're going to franchise out. Very cool. Looking to. Now, were you born and raised here in Cleveland?
Not born here, but I've spent the last 26 years here on the west side. I grew up in Lorraine, Elyria, went to Ashe University, lived downtown. So very much Cleveland born, bred. And
did you study fashion? Did you study marketing?
No,
nothing
business.
with this? Just business?
Yeah, I have a degree in finance. I have an MBA, and so I'm the business mind. I like the art side, but I've got a team of designers that does the artwork.
Now, aside from sports, because obviously it's a huge part of your t-shirt designs, you also give representation to other things in Cleveland.
Sure. Anything that basically can sell and that we can partner with, we'd love to be a part of, in any capacity, whether it's Playhouse Square, whether it's a nonprofit, or West Side Market, Ohio City, anything like that. If there's an opportunity to partner, we're down.
Very cool. All right. When we come back, Tony has started the very first t-shirt truck here in Cleveland, which I'm obsessed with this new thing coming here. So stick around for more of Listen Up, Cleveland.
Listen up, Cleveland.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Listen up, Cleveland.
Welcome back to Listen Up Cleveland. I'm your host, Leah Haslage, and I'm here with Fresh Brewed Tees owner Tony Madalone, and we're here with the first ever Cleveland t-shirt truck. Congratulations on this brand new endeavor. Now, of course, the Cleveland food scene has been really huge with the food trucks. Is that what kind of inspired this brand new endeavor?
It did a little bit. Also a couple of trucks in New York, but I want to be the first one to do it in Cleveland, have the first retail truck, and kind of allow Cleveland to be on the front end of something new.
That's very cool. Now, Kickstarter is what kind of helped kick this all off. Tell us a little about Kickstarter and how that helped get this going for you.
Yeah, the goal was to raise some funds, and our goal was $5,000 in 30 days. We started in December, early January, and we actually raised almost $7,000. We had 111 backers. You can actually see some of the people that, if you give us $100, your name's on here. So we've got a dozen or 2 dozen names. We've also got some logos of companies that backed us: Brain Host, Phone Surgeons, Terry's North Coast Auto, Unite the City. Terry's North Coast Auto actually helped renovate the whole truck. It was in the shop for probably 6 months, and very, very dirty, old. It was actually a plumbing truck. They had to take all the skins off.
Wow.
So it was a long process. It was actually wrapped by Hot Cards. We partnered with Hot Cards. A lot of cool partners. So it's been an awesome process.
And you got to kick it all off at opening day for the Indians this year. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was awesome. We partnered with 92.3. We were in the lot next to Harry Buffalo, East 4th and Prospect, and a lot of excitement, a lot of fans, obviously not just for Fresh Brewed, but for opening day because the Indians. And
a lot of t-shirts sold.
A lot of t-shirts sold.
Now, you're talking about some of the sponsors, and one of the big ones you have is actually Red Bull, who's represented in the back of the truck.
Yep, they got the whole back. Just a partnership that we already had for some of our other events, and they're a great company, and they've got great people in town, and they decided they wanted the whole bag, so we gave it to them. Also, Terry's North Coast, like I talked about, helped renovate the truck.
Yeah,
so.
They did an amazing job getting this renovated. It looks
awesome.
so slick.
Yeah, you can't follow the truck without seeing Red Bull. Gives you wings.
Gives you wings. All right, now on the other side, we're going to take a look at some of the t-shirts that you have to sell that you can look forward to. So some of these are like Cleveland Till I Die, and a lot of Indians I'm seeing represented for the new season.
Obviously because of opening day and the excitement's still behind it, but the cool thing about this is that these are 14 cases. I can bring new t-shirts in and out, whether I'm at a Browns game or at a festival, or let's say we're at Burning River Fest and we partner for a t-shirt, I can throw that t-shirt in here. Very easily accessible on the inside. Obviously Hot Cards like we talked about.
Yes, definitely.
And then people can come right up here to the window, they can buy stuff, they can point out what they like and just interact with us. We were so busy on opening day that we had the window from the door and the window from the side going at the same time for about 5 hours.
That is awesome. Now, what are some places, you said festivals, tailgates, obviously, anywhere else that we can kind of look forward to the truck possibly being at?
Anywhere there's people. Playhouse Square, CSU, Wade Over Wednesdays, Walnut Wednesdays, or whatever those are downtown. So anywhere there's people, we want to be.
And obviously you can still go on to freshbrewedtees.com to purchase more t-shirts.
Yep, always. You can follow us on social media.
Yes.
At
which I
Fresh Brewed
love.
Tees.
You can see the latest T-shirts he's working on. It's one of my favorite ways to
Yeah.
kind of keep up this.
And
So
you can vote on them too. If you want to give us insight, we might not print it, but if you tell us to print it, we'll print it.
yeah, are you open to people kind of saying, hey, I'm looking for this new Browns player. Are you going to represent him, or
Yeah, all
that
the
kind of
time.
stuff?
That's why we have social media, and that's why we interact so much, because we want to be the voice of the fans.
And one of my guests today was John Adams from the Indians, and you actually have had him on your shirt as well.
We did a partnership with him 2 years ago. We don't carry it anymore, but it was a John Adams shirt where it was a caricature of him drumming. So very cool partnership.
Yes.
Cool Cleveland icon.
Exactly, he really is. So, okay, just easy enough. You guys just head to the window.
Yeah,
and
you want a t-shirt?
I do want a
All
t-shirt.
right.
Let's see how this is done. I'm thinking long live Cleveland.
Long live Cleveland. All right, one sec.
Now, Tony, tell us about how much your shirts tend to retail as.
Shirts retail between 20 and 25. If you see us out, they're 25, 2 for 40 in the truck.
Very cool.
And here, long live Cleveland.
Easy enough. Long live Cleveland and Fresh Brewed Tees. Tony, congratulations on this grand new endeavor, and we look forward to seeing more from you and the t-shirts coming up.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
First time I saw you, well, Lordy, I know there goes my heart right down the road. Feels like sunshine every time I see you. Listen up.